dedicated to the grind and dedicated to you. That's why we do what we do. This is Power Grind Sports, encouraging you to transform your dedication into domination. Talking about the biggest names in sports and entertainment. This is what's hot in this world of sports. We getting ready to jump into this world of boxing because the WBC middleweight champion Jermall Charlo was arrested and charged with fleeing the scene of an accident, driving while intoxicated, and fleeing from the police. What in the world? Man, we got to talk about that. It's some things we definitely got to chat about. You got what I'm saying? Okay, let's jump on into it because, man, this is just really disappointing right here. Okay, so like I said, WBC middleweight champion Jermall Charlo. He is in serious trouble right now. He just had an incident involving the crashing of a red Lamborghini that he owns. Then he gets arrested, right? He was charged with driving while intoxicated, crazy, fleeing the scene of an accident, and eluding the police. Now, they did some drug tests on Charlo. They said that the alcohol content that was within his system was 2 times the legal limit. Now, that happened in Pearland, Texas, where, he's just driving, I guess around 7 o'clock, and he crashed into another vehicle. Now, after the crash happened, I guess him and the individual started arguing. And then since they started arguing, Jermall Charlo decided to leave the scene instead of waiting for law enforcement to arrive. So then he left, and then the police had to track him down. And from the reports that I'm reading about, it's saying that they were trying to stop him. They had their police lights on, activated and all that stuff, trying to pull him over, but he was not stopping. You got what I'm saying? So he drove, they say, 1 mile before he stopped. They did a sobriety test and said, hey man, this guy is not okay. They had to put him in cuffs and take him to the Brazoria County Jail. And he was released on bond. Now, this is coming at a time where Jermall Charlo, he's already facing a lot of, I guess, conflicts in life conflicts. I saw him on an interview. He was talking about how difficult things were. He was saying he couldn't see his family. He was saying that, he don't have his wife. He's married, but, he doesn't have his wife. He was like, look, that didn't work out. I let her have the mansion and, she got the kids. I haven't seen my children. You could see, he was in an interview with Ocho Cinco, and you could see the pain. You could hear the pain in his voice, and you could see the pain in his eyes. So when I heard this news, man, when I tell you, it really, really disappointed me, man. It really, really disappointed me. I just was like, man, I wish that Charlo could have got it together. I really wanted him to get it together, but it seems as if he just can't come back to the center, because sometimes that's where it's at, man. If you get too high, if you get too low, you got to have a good balance. So you got to have a good center, and he was not able to have a good center right there. You got what I'm saying? So it really disappoints me. It's really disheartening to hear about Jermall Charlo and his recent legal troubles, because like I said, if you check the interview out with Ocho Cinco, you will see a hurt Jermall Charlo. Now, even though I am saying that, I don't want you to feel as if I am being dismissive. Because even I had to preface. So you look at that interview, your heart will go out to Jermall Charlo. But I'm going to tell you this. I've had a family member that was damaged permanently by a drunk driver. So that's not okay. You know, you cannot operate a motor vehicle once you are intoxicated. There is no forgiving that. You know, I have no sympathy in my heart for that. That angers me. Now, fleeing the scene of an accident, think about this. You're a professional boxer. You just got into an accident. You and whoever, you're fussing back and forth. They're angry at you. You're getting angry. What should you do? Should you stay there in a heated situation? You should be angry at this person. They're angry at you and y'all fussing back and forth. No, you shouldn't. You better get on out that situation. So it makes sense in my mind to leave a situation. But if you're intoxicated, then guess what? You don't have your faculties. So you can't make proper assessments. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why I'm so conflicted with Jermall Charlo's activity. I understand that he's going through a lot of crazy things in life, which we all go through crazy things. But man, this is not the way. Fleeing the scene of the accident, hey, I understand if you're in a conflict with a person, you got to get out of there, or you might do something that you can't undo. You got me? So, police come behind you. They put their lights on you. You're already angered, disoriented, just got into an accident, you know, not thinking straight. So, of course, you might ride a little bit and you don't immediately stop. Now, I remember one time I was being, I'm going to say pursued by the law enforcement. And I chose to not immediately pull over because there was no safe place where I could pull over. So I kept driving until I could actually pull over in a safe place. And man, when I tell you, the police were so angry that I did not immediately stop. And they were asking me, or that law enforcement person was asking me, why didn't I immediately stop? And I said there was no place to immediately stop. I couldn't pull over. It wasn't a place where you could just pull over to the side of the road, because the road was lowered and the side of the road was raised. And I was driving a Corvette, and Corvettes are low to the ground. So the only way I could have stopped is if I stopped in the middle of the road. I couldn't even pull over to the side of the road, the shoulder of the road. It was not even possible, but they didn't want to hear that. They was very, very angry. And bad things happened that day. I wasn't intoxicated or nothing though. But man, things did not go my way that day. You got what I'm saying? So when I see Jermall Charlo in this position, I remember being in a similar situation, except like I said, I was not driving while intoxicated. 2 times the legal limit. That's just, oh man. I understand that sometimes there are some people who they have a problem, and it's obvious that Jermall Charlo has a problem. So when someone has a problem, I want you to reach out to them. Let's try to get our brother some help, because if this is not a scream for help, I don't know what is. We just saw him tell the whole world. We saw Jermall Charlo tell the whole world that he's hurt. We saw Jermall Charlo tell the whole world that he lost his family. We saw him tell the whole world that he's about to retire from boxing. We saw him say this to Ocho Cinco. He told the whole world. He apologized to Caleb Plant and all. It looked like, man, I ain't got no beef with you. He like, I ain't got no love for the sport of boxing. Jermall Charlo is a boxer. He has love for the sport of boxing. But Jermall Charlo is hurt right now. And yes, we can be angry that, and it's justified that he was driving while intoxicated. We can do that. We can be angry about that. But he's still your brother. If you are in combat arms, he is your brother. You got me? So I want you to understand that we live in a time where everything is picture perfect, but we don't live in a time where people give you their flaws and let you know that they are hurting. He did that. So I'm not excusing the DWI, but I just want you to understand that no one is perfect, especially not Jermall Charlo. Do you understand me? So when you look at these situations, you know, you gotta use empathy. You gotta have the ability to place yourself in somebody else's shoes and think about the thoughts that are happening in that moment. So like I said, man, it's a sad face to hear that Jermall Charlo got all these legal problems. And in a moment like this, it's important, though, to remember that everybody in life faces challenges. But I'm telling you, it's how you respond to a challenge that defines who you are. Because you're going to have a lot of challenges in life. But how you respond to that challenge is where your character lives. So now, Jermall Charlo, he has achieved remarkable success with his boxing career. And this is a setback. And right now, this setback right here, it seems as if he won't be able to come back from it. But I know it's not the end of the road for him. Adversity, man. I heard that it builds character. And adversity, in my mind, is inevitable. It's a known part of your life. It's gonna happen. But like I said, what matters most is how you learn from adversity, how you learn from that experience, how you grow from that experience. Adversity is a seed that is planted in life, and you have to grow from it. Now, for Charlo, this could be an opportunity to analyze the things that he did right, the things that he did wrong. You know, I'm telling you, when bad things happen, the first thing you got to do is that you have to jump into reflection mode. You got to reflect on your actions. You can't blame other people. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to reflect. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. You have to do it. You got to focus on self-improvement, and ultimately, you got to focus on redemption. Because a lot of people want Jermall Charlo to succeed. Now, of course, he has haters out there, but a lot of people who are in the combat sports world, they want him to succeed. So I hope they focus on redemption. He has the chance to take responsibility for the things that he did or failed to do. He can seek assistance, he can seek help, and he can emerge from this experience a better individual, a person that learned from it, a wiser individual. Still sad though, because I'm telling you, man, in the world of boxing, it's just like life. You gotta have resilience, you gotta have motivation, you gotta have determination. Those are the keys to your success. And Charlo, in my mind, has already demonstrated an incredible amount of skill and perseverance in that ring. And I saw him crying in that interview with Ocho Cinco. I heard him crying out. I've seen him on the pivot, and I've heard him just, hurting, just talking about stuff out loud, losing his family, having problems with his brother, and, not having his wife, not having his children with him, just going through all kind of problems. But guess what? You gotta be resilient. He got perseverance. He gotta overcome. That's what it has to be. He gotta overcome. That's just how it is, man. You gotta have resilience, and you gotta overcome different challenges in your life. So I hope that he can mend the fences that have been damaged. I hope that he can surround himself with his friends, his family, his team, his fans. And I hope that he can navigate in this difficult time and come out on the other side with a new focus and a new mindset. So man, shouts out to Jermall Charlo. I hope everything works out. And if you're facing adversity, listen, man, setbacks are not the end of your journey. You got me? And I always heard that a setback was a setup for a major comeback. And as you navigating through life, look, you're gonna have all kind of detours on your road to success, but you gotta stay strong. You gotta stay believing in yourself. You gotta stay positive. And even when things are difficult, you still gotta keep pushing forward. You gotta keep pushing forward. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't make it, because you can make it. Trust me. But I'm telling you, man, Jermall Charlo, big sad face. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to Jermall Charlo and just send words of encouragement. I'm gonna say positive things. So if you know somebody who is going through a difficult time, I want you to reach out to them. Give them words of encouragement. You can do it. You tell them, hey, even if it's a messed up situation, you can give them a moment of motivation. This is Power Grind Sports, encouraging you to transform your dedication into domination. And stay on the grind, reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to really reach people. I'm giving sports news, entertainment, and motivation. That's what we're doing, Power Grind.